Hi, everyone, and welcome to Signature West Podcast. I'm your host, Sam West from Palm Springs, California. As you know, I'm a seasoned real estate agent since 1991, and I bring you the podcast to bring you inspiring stories. Today is no exception. This is episode 101. I am thrilled and I'm beyond grateful to have my friend Ahmed all the way from Gaza, Palestine, today as my guest. So please say hi to Ahmed. Good evening to you and good morning to me. Can you
Hey
hear me
Sam,
okay?
how are you?
I'm
Yeah,
good. How
yeah,
are
I'm
you?
good, thank you. I'm good.
Good.
As soon as you are good, you're feeling good, I'm so good.
For security reasons, we're gonna keep just the voice of Ahmed on, but not his face. And just as a disclosure here, this podcast today is not going to be anything political. It's going to be more of a humanitarian um, discussion to get to hear Ahmed's story pre and post October 7th. Ahmed, um, you're
Yeah,
you're 33 years old, right?
I'm 32 years old, but I'm going
32.
to be 33 soon. So
Okay.
yeah,
You are
I still
very
young. Don't worry about it.
you're very young. You're very young. You're very well educated. You speak I believe, four different languages fluently. So tell us about your education. Where did you go to school? Where did you graduate from? And how did you learn four languages?
Okay, it's a long period of time to tell about my education journey. Well, back in 2000, at the beginning of 2000, I have registered on the elementary school at a Daraj school, which was for boys and girls at the same time. It belongs to the UN, UNRWA, and it was a very excited period of my time where I got education based on UNRWA like principles, where you should be so moderated and you should be not biased about anything else. The secondary school, no, on the fifth grade, a Daraj school has separated boys from girls, and I have transferred to another UN school for the fifth and the sixth grade for only boys, which was a little bit of turning point for me because I got used to being with the feminine and masculine attitude at the same time in the same class, which was more diversified than going before going to the only boys school. And then on secondary school, which was only for the UN schools, on Ashjaiya school, it was also a turning point because it was the beginning of my um, teenager point, and it it was a rough period of time. um, because of all of the restriction that we have lived as boys here in Gaza, because of the siege period, because of the some Islamic and traditional costumes that we should be aware of and we should be so focused on. Um, and then on in high school, I went to another school which was belonged to the government, which was the government of Hamas, and you should be more restricted and you should be more religious a little bit. But me and my friend weren't so much religious. We were moderated. We were the top of our classes, and at the same time, we were nerds at the same time. And at the same time, which was so sarcastically weird, we were troublemakers. Like we used to be not a bullying with the negative definition of bullying, but like thugs, like living a gang inside of the school, being the top of the class,
You're being a child. You're being a kid.
being
You're
so
being a teen.
educated in this kind of period of time. Yeah.
Yeah.
And when the high school, which was the Tawjihi period, has finished, I got 98% of my final grades,
Uh-huh.
which can be translated into 4.9 GPA. out of five. And then I got a scholarship. I got a lot of scholarships to study medicine in different kind of areas around the world,
Wow.
among Algeria, Bulgaria, Sweden, Russia, Jordan. But because I used to have an uncle who and an aunt who um, lived in Russia and studied medicine right there, I choose Russia because of my own relationship that used to study right there. So they could be so much helpful for me to be identified to a different culture, for a different language, a different principles, a different customs, traditions, etc. So I went to Russia and studied medicine for 3 years. I was the top of on the class, even on Russian people. Uh, so uh, on the third on the third year, my scholarship on the Palestinian embassy got withdrawn for unknown reason,
Mm.
and then my family isn't a wealthy one, so I needed to drop the school and start to work. And you should know that I was on the medical school on a study visa. So if I dropped the school and left the medicine, I
Right.
should return back to Gaza once again. But because of the closing borders between us and Egypt and all of the fluctuation periods and consolidation orders for the political reasons, I couldn't return back to Gaza, and I applied for an asylum in Russia, but they refused it. So they got me a temporarily asylum for 2 years in Moscow. So when I went to Moscow, I I applied for an asylum, and on the UNHCR organization, they have recognized that I know three languages fluently,
Which
Russian, Arabic, and English. So they were amazed of my own ability to absorb those kind of information and those kind of vocabs on three languages. So after 1 month on the middle of 2018, when the FIFA Cup has started, so uh, they were having some troubles and shortage in Arabic and English translation.
mm,
Um, so yeah, and a lot of people, especially in on African and Asian countries, who were living on some bad countries, not bad countries in that in general, but because they were suffering and struggling from whatever reason they're suffering for, they have used the ID fan in order to travel to Russia as a fan for the FIFA Cup, but they use this kind of reasons and this kind of purposes in order to apply for an asylum in Moscow. So the numbers of asylum seekers were increasing and increasing every day on a daily basis, and they were in need for Arabic and English
mhm,
translator,
mhm.
and they asked me for it, and they told me that we could make a contract for you for a paid volunteer for translation for translating these kind of languages, and agreed upon it. So I worked for them for 2 years, and then on the beginning of COVID-19, they deported me to Egypt and from Egypt to Gaza because I don't hold any kind of Russian citizenship.
Right.
And then I returned back to Gaza to my family. And after 1 year, I got registered on the Islamic University of Gaza, which considered to be one of the prestigious,
Right.
if it is not the prestigious and most desirable university in Gaza. In a administration bachelor degree program, um, and I finished 4 years in 2.5 years.
Wow.
And I get the top in my class before the beginning of the genocide, like 1.5 month before the beginning of the genocide. And yeah, that's it. This is my education journey.
So you just graduated. in the beginning in 2023 when the genocide started. Is that correct?
Yeah, I got graduated at the 18th of August,
Wow,
2023,
wow, wow, wow,
like
wow.
1.5 months before
Before,
the beginning of the
before,
genocide.
before, yeah. Okay. Well, first of all, congratulations to that journey and
Thank you.
very well accomplished. Uh, let's fast forward uh, to the day or the night when, first of all, before we get there, I just want to confirm for the ones that are listening and watching, you lived your entire life basically. Um, you're born in Gaza, you were raised in Gaza. You lived your entire life in an occupation space, so to speak. Is that correct?
Well, if you cut the 7 years of my living in Russia,
No,
yeah,
correct,
of
correct,
course.
correct, correct, correct.
I have
Okay,
been put under a lot of oppression and a
right,
lot of occupation,
right,
especially the Israeli
right.
one.
Because people don't understand
And
that
I haven't been practiced freedom for I haven't even experienced freedom for more than 40% of my whole life.
for life, right? Like
So
most
yeah, if you
Palestinians.
want to
Yeah.
put it in this kind of context, of
Yes,
course, yeah, I
yes,
have
yes,
been
yes,
living the whole of my life under occupation.
yes. So take me to the day or the night when you tried to reach your mom and you found out the unimaginable. And by the way, if you get triggered while we're talking about this, let me know, and I will stop and we'll restart. So tell me when you made the call of that day
Yeah.
or
Oh
night,
boy.
what happened? I
Yeah.
know,
No, it's okay. It's okay. I already got through this kind of period. Of course, it was so freaking sensible and a horrible thing to feel back then. But on the fourth on the fourth month after the beginning of the genocide, it was in February 2024. Um, before going through this story, I should explain that at the beginning of the genocide, the IDF has divided Gaza into two sections and two areas separated from each other, the south and the north.
correct.
The north considered in the point of view of the IDF, considered to be more dangerous and contain a lot of terrorists, which is not true. This is some kind of excuse in order to commit a lot of crimes and a lot of killings. But they divided Gaza into two areas, the south and the north. And I'm living in the north of Gaza Strip. So the IDF has ordered all of the people who are living in the northern area of Gaza Strip to leave Gaza and be displaced their own placement and go to the southern area of Gaza Strip. And they have created a line which was full of military and Israeli tanks called Nitsarim line. This line is considered to be so freaking like dangerous, like the borders between the U.S. and Mexico, but jeopardizing people in 10 times than the U.S. borders. So whoever got close, like 1 mile closer to this line, it will be shooted dead immediately, even by the Air Force or the drones, which are the quadcopter um, or by snipers or the tanks or whatever military technology they obtain. Unless if they hold a white flag, which is the
Right.
surrender flag, and they walked like in a separated individualistic manner, so they allowed them to go from the northern area to the southern area. And you should know that the IDF has a lot of technology photographing and capturing the face and the signature of eye of people in order to see if these people are jeopardizing their own life, or these people are under the list of terrorism or something like that. So my friend, my friend's family have left Gaza and leave. They left him alone in the big house, and my friend was afraid that some thief or some thug person or a criminal going to broke into his house and steal something or kill him or something like that.
Right.
because in the genocide, the ethical system has been dropped here for Gazan people.
Right.
Not, of course, not 100%, but we can say at the beginning of the genocide, 10% of the Gazan population ethically has been dropped. So he invited me at this night and he told me, Ahmed, can you come to me and you can have a sleepover? We can like make shisha, hookah, we can smoke all night long while hearing bombs and fire belts and all of the missiles dropping into Gaza and something like that. This was sarcastically because we are more closer to death than life. So
Right.
we were treating life with a sarcastic way.
Of course.
So I tell them, of course, man, like you are my brother already. I can go, but prepare a good type of tobacco so we can smoke it all night long. So I went to him. We were talking, chatting for 4 hours. After 2 hours after midnight, and by the way, his house was like half a mile away from my house on my area. And after in 2 a.m. after midnight, um, it has been created and established as a fire belt, and by definition of fire belt, it's more than 20 F-16 missiles and rockets have been dropped into one area. This means a fire
Right.
belt.
Right.
So it was a disastrous thing to hear and experience back there, and you could feel that your soul has been left your body for seconds and returned back.
Right.
So we were laughing like in a crazy way that we thought that his house has been destroyed or something like that. So after 5 minutes, I got worried and I called my mom. Her phone was closed. I called my brother. His phone also was closed. I called my aunts, my uncles, my nieces, my nephews, my cousins, my neighbors. No one was answering. It was a fucking disastrous thing to feel, you know? I was calling everyone that I know. No one is answering. All of their phones were dead, as of their bodies. So one of my neighbors who wasn't like at that night back then sleeping at his house. He was evacuated at his father-in-law house. Has called me and he told me that more than 50 buildings, one building contained 5 floors minimum, has been destroyed. All of our area completely has been destroyed. So I was like laughing at his like words as if something like this is some kind of a fucking nightmare or a
Right.
dream that is going to be ended like
Right.
as soon as possible.
Right.
But when I came into my mind, and you should know that this was on 2 a.m. after midnight, and you should know that on 9 p.m. In evening, you shouldn't get out of your house
Right.
on the beginning of the genocide because if the Air Force or the inspection for like airplanes notice that there is a human body is
Right.
walking on the street, they're going to be 100% suspicious for them and they're going to be bomb them immediately.
Right.
So I didn't care about this kind of routine. I get out of my friend's house while my friend is grabbing me by my shirt and I hit him to let me go. So I I saw a lot of dust on the in the air. Uh, the smell of smoking is so freaking like bad.
Of course.
I couldn't see anything or hear anything. It was a completely zombie land. No one was
It's
answering.
also nighttime.
Yeah, when I get closer, I could hear some women that coming to the area to see their families are screaming and calling God by his name to save their families. I even couldn't recognize my own area, my neighborhood. I couldn't recognize it. It's 100% different, as if they have been cut from the earth and went to another place, into another dimension, you know? It's so fucking disastrous thing to have. I waited till the morning has come and so the sunrise has already started.
Mm.
And I was looking for my house. I couldn't find my own house. Could you imagine that the house that I have lived in for 20 years, I I know every little detail in my neighborhood. I know every little like spots in my on my streets and my road. I can recognize every sign in the area. I can count every trees on the streets. I couldn't even recognize anything on the space right there. So I recognized one of my neighbor who was sitting on one of destroyed houses and crying, and I told him back then I couldn't cry. I still in shock, like I couldn't believe maybe this is kind of joke, maybe this is kind of prank, the biggest prank ever in the universe. I asked him one thing, where is my house? Where is my house, man? I couldn't find my house. He told me I don't know. So in front of my house, I still recognize and know that there was a painting on a wall, and I saw this painting in front, like straight immediately in front of my house. I look in the other side of painting, and I saw my house. I saw it like 5 floors completely destroyed. I can see the ceilings. It dropped like biscuits on my 62 family members.
Mm.
My mom, my brothers, my sisters, their husbands, my nephews, nieces, all of my cousins, all of my uncles from my mom's all of my uncles and aunts from my mom's side, all of my uncles and aunts from my father's side. So yeah, that's it. I even couldn't like give them a proper a grave or a proper funeral for them. They still right there. They still under the house. Their corpse is still under the fucking house. Yeah, that's it.
Um, well, I'm really sorry for this. I know that doesn't say much, but thank you for sharing that part of the story. Where did you go after that? Where did you live? How did you exist after now that everything you know is gone? Where did you go from here? What did you do?
Yeah, at the beginning, I went to the same friend where I have sleep over with in order to sleep at his house. But after a week, he went to the southern side of Gaza Strip, and he couldn't allow me to live in his house. So this friend, when he went to the when he reaches the Netzarim line, he hadn't have a wide flag, so the IDF caught him and cut his head off of his body. This is what I heard, and still his family couldn't find his body and his poor. Yeah. So I live. So I have lived on the streets for the past 2 years, 100% completely harmless, with someone who's so freaking educated and have a lot of skills, technical and professional skills, like holding a lot of languages professionally. Um, Used to have a prestigious lifestyle before the genocide, living on the streets alone. Um, Whenever I like experiencing some bombs and missiles, I'm hiding myself like beneath the ceilings of a destroyed house in order to protect myself with.
Of course.
Because when the missile or rocket is dropping on the floor, it shattered into million pieces. So I got injured, by the way, on my right leg 2 times, on my left leg 1 time. It was a freaking like a hell of a night back there. Yeah. So two
Yeah.
years on the streets without food, without medications, without clothing, without having shower. being depressed all the time, sad, having some suicidal thought, to be honest, wishing that I have been dead with my family. So the meaning of life for me has been vanished. I almost like lost the hope in humanity. So yeah, it was a literally hell that living in this in 2 years time period.
Tell us about the injury on your legs, both legs, because I understand there's a material that's being used um, in the fabric of the bomb that if it penetrates somebody's body, not the bomb itself, but the material itself, it's pretty dangerous. Can you
Yeah,
tell
it,
us
it
about
is
that?
poisonous. Yeah, yeah. If it couldn't be inhaled or having an urgent medical intervention as soon as possible, it could be poison your leg and you could be amputated. And this what the doctor have told me. Fortunately, when they bombed a house where I used to live on the next destroyed house, I got injured with two big freaking metal pieces into my both legs. And these big metal pieces were so freaking like painful, and I had a bleeding all over my legs, and fortunately the house where I got injured by was so close to a Shifa hospital, which is considered to be one of the biggest hospitals
Right,
in Gaza
right.
Strip.
Of course, yeah, yeah.
So I went right there by I couldn't feel that I couldn't feel like the ones. The adrenaline like was flowing in my body like hell. I was like high with adrenaline. So I was running on in my feet, and when I reached the hospital's gate, I dropped myself into one of the doctor's back, and I start begging him and crying and shouting out loud, screaming at him, "Please fucking help me! I'm in so fucking pain." While I was looking, I was seeing like thousands and thousands of injured people. I can see human flesh on the floor. I literally can see a river of blood on corridors. So I put my position in another perspective, and I started to like minimize my own value as a human being and started to say that there's someone is in more need than I am. Could you imagine this kind of fucking situation?
Yeah, I know I can't. No,
So
I can't.
yeah,
I
so
can't.
I started to beg a doctor, please help me, please help me. I don't want to lose my legs. So he took me on a table. He doesn't took me on a table. It was not a surgical or a medical table. It was a wooden one. It's not a professional. I could have an infection like easily. So he started to get these metal sticks out of my body and started to sanitize it and started to observe something so weird in my leg and started to see that there is a bass is creating so fast in my fat tissues and my muscles. And he told me that your legs is poisoned right now, but not completely. I can save them. I started to cry my eyes out and started to beg them, please, I don't want them to be amputated. Please, I don't want to lose my legs. Without my legs, I can't have some hope in the future, you know? So I would be suffered all day long, if I lost my legs. I already lost my family. I'm not willing to lose any part of my body. And you should know that 80% of young people and young men in Gaza Strip are amputated. If
Yeah.
not one part, they are two part. If not two parts, four peripherals or three peripherals. So it's so fucked up situation. So he started to sanitize it, put some locals and solution on my wounds, and then he wrapped them and he gave me one tablet of antibiotics, which I think it was amoxicillin, and he told me you should keep taking this for 1 week and you will be okay, and don't put any water or any liquid near the wounds. Keep it dry all the time. I started to thank him. I couldn't walk after that. I waited for 6 hours on the reception while I was in shock by looking at dead people, dead women, dead children, and I couldn't do nothing because I have my own wants. I have my own troubles. In this kind of situation, you started revalue all kind of principles and all kind of knowledge that you already obtained before, and you started to reassessment and making some kind of reevaluation for everything that you have learned and everything you have experienced before, you know? So yeah, yeah, you should know that Israel is intentionally, when they bombing someone or some place or an area or a house or a car, they intentionally using not fire bombed weapons, but also a poisonous one,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
because they want to reach the maximum level of
Right.
damages.
Right. Right. Where are you living now?
Well, 90% of my friends were killed during the genocide.
Right.
One of my dearest friend, he used to be an ICU doctor. He's so kind and so professional. May his soul rest in peace right now. He got killed by IDF when they have entered the hospital and started to arrest and kill a lot of doctors. He got killed during a surgical procedure by his head immediately. And when I got this news, I contacted his family, who his father and his mother, who are living in Egypt even before the genocide. They traveled to Egypt for tourism, and they got locked into Egypt because
Mm.
the borders between us and Egypt has been locked and is still locked right now
Right.
because of the genocide.
Right.
No one are allowed to enter or leave Gaza back there. So I contacted them to give them this bad news, and they started to cry, and they didn't believe it. So I took my friend corpse when the IDF has left the hospital, and give him a dignity and a proper graving and funeral, and put him on the ground, and I made a grave for him.
Mm.
So when his parents have known about it, they were so appreciative. And after 1 week, I got an idea if I can ask them this like horrible question. So I contacted his father and I told him, if do you have any place, like even if it was a destroyed room, a properly place to live or sleep at, to cover myself when I want to get my clothes off and I want to take a shower, I need something to cover my body. So they told me that their son, who got killed by IDF on the hospital, he was preparing his apartment and making some kind of internal decoration in order to get married in this apartment.
Mm.
And this apartment got hit by two missiles, and half of it was destroyed. This apartment is located on the fourth floor of one of what used to be a prestigious area in Gaza Strip, where wealthy people used to live before. But right now, I have showed you that area before, right? It was 100% destroyed and burnt. So I was so happy to hear that. I told him, give me the address. I can do whatever I can do to make some kind of maintenance on the ceiling or the floor or something like that. It took a lot of effort to get rid of rebels and a lot of stones and
Of course. Of course.
to make a path into the apartment because the floor was the floor is having like a big hole on it
Mm.
from the floor to the third one because of the big rocket that has been dropped on.
Right.
So I make some like I fixed something. I have made some maintenance because although that I don't have any money to but I still like I can think of something that I can fix this apartment to live on. So yeah, I have been living on this apartment for the past 4 months. It is considered to be a heaven for me. I'm so freaking appreciative.
Of course. Of course.
Comparing with my house that I used to live before, my house used to be a villa. It's a mansion. But right now, this apartment is a heaven for me,
Of
you
course,
know?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm
How,
living right now in the build in a destroyed building on the fourth floor, which on one of the apartments that half of it is destroyed and exposed to the public.
right?
Yeah. And
How,
the ceiling of this apartment is it could be dropped into my head in any seconds, you
in a
know?
second,
But
of course,
I'm relying a lot of hope on God and on faith in order to protect me about it. But this is the only option, literally the only option
right?
for me here as a single with non-family, completely alone guy in Gaza Strip.
How do you access clean water?
Well, water is divided into two sections, drinkable one and for general use. The drinkable one, there is a vehicle, big vehicle, is holding a lot of tanks on it. On the on 6 a.m., it comes and started to honk so loudly in order to let people knows that there's a clean water, a drinkable water. It's not, by the way, it's not 100% clean. You can taste like Clorix and you can taste some kind of weird stuff on it. But you can't complain. You don't have the ability or the
Right,
authority to complain about it.
right, right,
This is what is available. You should use it,
right, right,
and you have to use it.
right,
There's no option about it.
right.
So I have one ta like little tank. I fill it with the clean, drinkable water, relatively, and then I pour the drinkable water into used bottles of water, empty used bottles of water, and then use it for drinking. And when the general use of water comes into the pipes, what has been remaining into the pipes, I need to walk half a mile. I can see them through the window on the fourth floor. I need to walk half a mile in order to fill two ta two mini tanks, and then taking these tanks to the building where I live, and then climbing on the fourth floor on the stairs, and then putting on the big tank and returning the same round 10 times.
And how do you access food
I
if
don't
you
have
there's
any kind of accessibility for food at all. At all. I have been starving for the past 3 years. You can't imagine how much starvation I have experienced.
okay?
Because I'm a single person,
Hmm.
all of the NGOs, humanitarian institutions, and associations here in Gaza Strip are only targeting families and couples or children. They
Right,
don't targeting any kind of single people with no family. Whenever I go, um, every day on daily basis, I'm going on 7 a.m. on one of the NGO's line. This line contains more than 1,000 people that waiting online, waiting under the burning sun for 5 hours till my turn is coming, and then starting to beg the security on the gate of this kind of association that I haven't been eating for the past 3 or 4 days. And I need some food to eat because I'm so fucking hungry and I'm dying right now. And they use the same excuse that they used before, that I need to register with your family. I started to tell them and convince them that all of my family has been dead. I started to give them and show them the death certificates for my whole family. They started to say we are following orders. This is not upon us. You should talk to the manager through the website of this association, and no one's is answering. You know they fucking ignoring you.
right.
They don't even give a shit about you. You are not. You have no value for them. You know, I started to cry my eyes out and being depressed all the time because of that. This is so much discriminating thing. You know, there are a lot of people like me here in Gaza Strip are like singles and they lost their families, or a girl who used to be married and her husband or all of her children has been killed and all of her family has been killed. And by the way, to be honest with you, 100%, some people are using these kind of single women and single girls to use them sexually in order to pay them for food or giving them some kind of non-for-sale support parcels, but they use something for on them in order to give them something in return. And this is more fucked up than my own situation, you know?
The whole
But for me
situation is
personally, yeah, yeah,
whole situation.
for me personally, in my point of view, like if you are eating 7 days a week, three meals a day, I'm eating one meal every 4 days. Can you imagine? I'm
No, I
eating
honestly can't. I
literally
can't.
one
I
meal
can't.
every 4 days,
I
which is
can't.
so fucking disastrous thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Um,
So for answering your question in conclusion and in short, I don't have 100% any kind of accessibility toward food because of the association, NGOs, and humanitarian agencies here in Gaza Strip that practicing discrimination on a lot of segments here in Gaza that has been suffering at the beginning of the genocide till this present moment.
what do you want the world to know about
Come again?
you? About what do you want the world to know about you, about Gaza, about Palestine? What do you want the world to know about your situation, other people's
Well,
situation?
I want the world to know that we all humans, there's no differentiation between us and you, like any kind of race or ethnicity or something. We still the same human, right, like you. We
Yep,
are not the strongest. We are not the smartest. We are not the most educated. We are not the most religious. We are not the most respected, or we are not the most anything that make us superior upon anyone in the world. But we have the same equal right that you have as a human.
of course,
You know,
of course.
we the land doesn't belong to anyone. After all, you're going to be died, and no one going to be remembering you after 20 or 50 years.
Right,
Believe me,
right.
the land is for everyone. But attacking us in this kind of furious and wildest way, it's not acceptable.
Yep,
You know,
yep. I hear you.
the world should know that whatever we are doing right now, it's for our rights, our humanitarian rights of the land,
Right.
our humanitarian rights for acknowledging ourselves in the society in order to put our signature on this world, but not in a negative way, in a positive way. For me personally, I'm not supporting the 7th of October at all, even from the Israeli side or from Hamas side. I'm 100% civilian. I'm not supporting any kind of violence. I'm not supporting any kind of animalistic behavior, you know? But what has happened here in Gaza, especially for me personally, I can't accept it at all. Of course, I am obligated to live my whole life feeling guilt about what has happened to me, as if something that I have made wrong because of my own existence. But I really don't know how to deal with it. But in general, the world should know that, um, like all lives matter. Palestinian lives matter. Black lives matter. Every life matter. We're still human.
And I don't think you need to know. It's impossible to know how to figure this out. I don't think anybody on this planet in your position is has the tools to figure this out. It's horrific, and for me personally, I want to apologize that I'm not doing enough. And if I can apologize for all humanity, I would. I do now. As you know, I started a GoFundMe for you, um, and for everybody that's listening or watching, I'm going to put the link for the GoFundMe in the comments. If you're watching, if you're listening, go to GoFundMe.com and search for Meet Ahmed from Gaza, and you'll find the campaign. Obviously, any donation is appreciated. Ahmed, if you can tell us what would you use the funds for, that would actually be helpful. Can you hear me?
Well, um, yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah. As I have been educated and have been learned in on the business school, there is in the organizational behavior analysis, there has been a pyramid called the pyramid of Maslow's, which divided needs by essentials from the most important one into the most wanted one. So what I need the fund for, of course, the essentials, the physiological and psychological needs. I need food, I need medications because I'm suffering from PE. I have a severe pulmonary embolism. I can't breathe uh, at all. Like it's impossible for me to take a full breath from my lungs. I have been suffering from the pulmonary embolism because I was inhaling a lot of toxicity that coming out and the extraction of bombs and missiles, which was considered to be a critical case for me when I got diagnosed by PE. I got registered on the WHO organization as a critical patient. I needed to get medical evacuation as soon as possible. But because of all of the restrictions that the Israeli has been putting upon borders and leaving, and patient who's leaving Gaza have been putting in a lot of pressures, I couldn't right now leave, although I have been waiting for 8 months about it. I couldn't afford my own medications for the PE, so I need food, I need medications. I need some clothes because I have been wearing the like I still have I only have two pants, two shirts, and two t-shirts. You know, I have suffered from the last winter from the coldness.
I
You
can't
can't imagine
imagine. I
how much
can't
I was.
imagine. I can't. No, I can't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was so fucking feeling. Yeah, I was covering myself with plastic sheets in order to obtain the minimum, like absorption, the real portion of hotness or warmth in order to keep myself warm, you know? So I need food, medication,
Okay.
clothes. I need psychological consultation. I need to talk to someone like hearing girls a psychological thing in order
Right.
to get rid of my own depression
Right. Right.
and to get rid of like this kind of suicidal thought that like suddenly uh I used like suddenly recently I'm thinking yeah, all of these kind of
Okay.
essentials
Okay.
I need for like
Okay.
I'm not asking fund for in order to buy Lamborghini or
Right.
Ferrari
No, I
or to buy
understand.
mansion in Maldives Islands.
We understand.
No, I want which these kind of essentials should be provided for me for free, not asking for them. Every human should having these kind of essential without asking for them.
I agree.
But right now, unfortunately, because of all of the political and social restrictions that has been put in upon me, um, I need this fund to buy the essentials.
Well, the campaign started,
Yeah.
and again, for the ones that are listening or watching, I'm going to put the link for the GoFundMe on the comments. And if you're listening, go to GoFundMe.com and look for Meet Ahmed from Gaza, Ahmed. And please, people, you don't have to give a lot. If you can, that's amazing. If you can give whatever it costs to buy your cup of coffee, that's wonderful. There's no judgment. Um, but let's do the right thing. Let's do the right thing. Um, there's a phrase that I adore so much. It says, help others and the world will help you. It's a simple, simple thing. Whatever that means, whatever that looks like, it doesn't have to be a lot, but clearly you heard the story. And I know it's one thing that we hear the stories on TV and you see it on the internet and you see the visuals. It's one thing for me, but it's very different when you hear from somebody like Ahmed straight ahead directly. Hopefully you were impacted as much as I was, and hopefully you can find it in your heart to give some kind of money that we can send over there, that I can send over there. I appreciate you all. Ahmed, I am so proud of you and I appreciate your time. and I appreciate your honesty and authenticity and being on
Thank you,
here.
Sam.
My pleasure, my pleasure. And to everybody else,
I'm
I'll
thanking
see.
you for hosting me. I'm thanking you. I'm so thankful for you, Sam, for hosting me today, and
Nope, my pleasure.
expressing my own feeling have relieved a little bit of what I used to feel every day.
Good.
Thank you for achieving the GoFundMe for me, which was unavailable to practice it and achieve it here in Gaza because of all of the
I understand.
internet and online
I understand.
restrictions. Yeah.
I hear you. Stay safe. I'll be in touch. And everybody else, I will see you next week. Thank you, everybody. Take care.